have been meaning to watch this movie for a very long time. It's a movie that I have heard is one of the best films ever, from a director that I absolutely love, of course, Tim Burton. And if you read the title of this video, you know the film that I'm talking about is Ed Wood. This is one of the few Tim Burton movies that I had never gotten to see, and finally I sat down last night to watch it because I'm watching through all of his movies right now for a potential video. We'll see if I get around to it. Still want to make an Alien ranked video, but now a lot of time has passed since Alien Romulus. Maybe I'll wait for the TV show to come out next year. We'll see. But either way, Ed Wood is this film starring Johnny Depp, directed by Tim Burton, about this movie director named Ed Wood, a guy that was actually a film director during the 1950s. And what's special about Ed Wood is he wasn't a very good film director. At least that's how he is remembered. Of course, everything is kind of objective. Maybe you love his films, but just historically speaking, he is remembered in the film industry as being one of the worst film directors of all time, which makes it such an interesting film to center a film about filmmaking and motivating people in art and center it around a person who maybe was not very successful in that art form. Great idea from Tim Burton. And this is a film that I am absolutely floored by. It's a film that I am stunned. I am just so incredibly amazed at how well done this film is, both from an artistic point of view. Of course, it being a Tim Burton movie, you are going to get that production aesthetic that he is known for, but not just that, but how this film is able to kind of reinvigorate my love for this art form, for filmmaking, for creation, and how this film has just kind of lit a fire under my ass to get myself writing and get some scripts made and get behind the camera, get back behind the camera. I'm in front of a camera right now, but I like being behind it a little bit more than I like being in front of it, when it comes to movies, at least. Talking about movies, I love being here. I love you guys. Subscribe. Because this film does so much right. Of course, this film does follow Ed Wood, played by Johnny Depp, who gives maybe my favorite performance ever from him. I mean, that's hard to say, because Johnny Depp is just one of the greatest actors ever. He's one of my favorite actors, literally ever. It's unfortunate what's happened to him over the last 6-7 years, but hopefully he will get to be in some more movies coming up soon. But he is just absolutely riveting here as Ed Wood, playing this charismatic and confident guy. And I'm trying to do my impression of him right now, but it's really bad. I think his performance from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is Willy Wonka, but less kind of weird and cringy and more realistic and human, but still crazy, right? He's still got that craziness to him, and it's so crazy that he could play this lighthearted, happy guy, and then he can play Jack Sparrow. Like, it's just crazy. The amount of range this guy has is just silly. But he is so good here in crafting this character of Ed Wood, this guy who clearly wants to be a great filmmaker and make great stuff, but does have his faults that are kind of perfectly shown by Tim Burton. He has these things in his filmmaking that are so clearly the things that are holding him back, and the film does not shy away from that, but you still find it hilarious, like the fact that he only likes to do one take, right? He shoots the take, he goes, cut, okay, print it, we're done. I love it. It's so funny, and Ed Wood is just such an amazing character that you root for throughout the entire plot of this movie, and God, Johnny Depp, so good here. Of course, you get to see Ed Wood working with the actor Bela Lugosi, who is, of course, a famous actor that played Dracula, and he is at the end of his career, the end of his life, really, and Ed Wood brings him in to try to get him to be the star of a lot of these movies, and the relationship between those characters is so beautiful. There's a lot of themes about kind of being in that twilight of your career and trying to keep it going. That plot line is so beautifully done. This film displays kind of the chaos of getting a movie made so well, and I don't know if it could really relate. Like, I don't know how general audiences kind of perceive this. Maybe they can connect it to other things that they do in life and other aspects, but as somebody who has worked on film sets, that kind of controlled chaos where things are just on fire, metaphorically. Things are just going wrong, and there's so many moving parts that the director has to manage, and you're just hoping something good comes out at the end, and when it does, it's beautiful, and even when it doesn't, you're just so satisfied that you were able to make something. That is just such a big part of filmmaking, and it is captured in this film through Ed Wood and through this team and all the different hoops they have to jump through to get a movie made, all the different things they have to do to get the films made. It's one of my favorite parts about this movie, and I haven't really seen another movie on filmmaking that is able to accomplish this. The only other one, surprisingly, is The Disaster Artist, another movie about a filmmaker who's kind of perceived to be a terrible filmmaker. I think following these kind of not-so-good filmmakers is a lot more fun to watch, just to show the chaos of filmmaking, versus following, like, Stanley Kubrick and showing just how brilliant he is. I think that would also be. But there's just so much good here. Ed Wood balancing his personal life, his girlfriends, his relationships to the actual art form, his private life, the secrets that he holds, the things that make him feel more comfortable in life that maybe other people don't understand. How he eventually merges that with the art of writing and filmmaking is beautiful to watch, and you just grow a respect for this man through this movie because he just continued to pursue something that is impossible despite all the odds, and it makes it such a beautiful movie. And then you get to the Tim Burton stuff. This movie is shot in beautiful black and white. This film is absolutely gorgeous to look at, and there are some shots and some scenes that are just, they're like a painting. And if you've seen any Tim Burton movie, you know what you're getting. You know the production design's gonna go crazy. He just has a way of making his movies so nice to look at, and this film, you would think maybe could be his driest visually of all of his films, because it's black and white. There's not as much you could do with the bombastic colors and craziness with that, but because it's black and white, he's able to do so much more with the physicality of the sets. When there's rain, the rain pours and you could feel it through the screen. You feel like you're getting rained on, right? When there's a large crowd of people throwing popcorn, you feel it. There are some legendary shots in this film that I am going to remember forever. He is just so, so good. He is the master of production, in my opinion. I'd love to see a movie made about Tim Burton making movies. That would be great. But to me, this is just a movie that I'm so surprised it took me so long to watch. This is not only, I think, Tim Burton's best movie, at least one of his best, but it is just a masterful film about pursuing dreams, pursuing work in an art form and in a world that feels so impossible to actually make it. And watching kind of this guy who just, against all odds, continues to jump through hoops, continues to do stuff, even if it sends his life into chaos, even if it hurts other people at times, you know, not on purpose. It just shows this kind of chaos surrounding the situation, but the confidence and the beauty of being motivated within your own confidence in this industry. As somebody who's pursuing a career in this world in filmmaking, this is one of my favorite movies now. It will continuously be my favorite movie, and it's going to be the movie that I recommend to everybody I meet from this day on if they're pursuing a career in filmmaking. If they have not seen Ed Wood, I will be telling them to watch Ed Wood. What do you guys think of the movie? Let me know down below. Make sure to like this video, subscribe for more tune-in notifications. I'll see you in the next one.